I usually don't make these kind of videos, but this is sort of like a state of New World and sort of what's to expect. Let's just jump into a few of the bugs. You know, it's just a few bugs. You know, there's one where the game is just extremely laggy using the new rollback system or whatever. The game is completely fucked from a server standpoint. Hit rig is fucked. Things aren't synced up. Projectiles are fucked. So there's this like flying bug. There's a bug where you can get stuck in the map. There's a bug where you cannot move. There's one where your projectiles go to fucking Narnia, and it's like actually really frequent because I've been having this happen, you know, and it's like literally just all the time. Your projectiles just go to fucking Narnia. Here's an example of the one where I literally just couldn't move in a war, and I had it the entire war, and you know, it could have been one of the contributing factors to why this war was a loss. I don't think it was. You know, I was literally stuck for the whole fort phase. Even dying, I was literally stuck in spawn. Nothing got me out of it. Apparently movement abilities might get you out of it. I had no movement abilities. I was DPS mage. So yeah, the game is just entirely fucked, bro. Yeah, I was stuck entire fort phase. Dying didn't work. Unstuck didn't fix. Apparently taking your gear off and putting it back on works, but I can't do that in war because I'm always combat rocked. Pretty pathetic excuse from AGS for an update, to be honest. Delayed for an update. Yeah, you know, there's the double firing bug with Musket. That happens basically every other shot, every single ability, and it will actually make you stay in the animation for longer because it's another registering as another shot animation. Musket projectiles and bow projectiles are mega scuffed. The bow heavy attacks projectile is smaller, much like it was at launch of New World, which I actually don't mind. Sometimes you will not deal damage at all. 5-star scaling is fucked. There is a whole spreadsheet for all of the bugs in the fucking game that haven't been fixed. Like maybe 5 or 10 or 5 or 6 of the bugs have been fixed. And this list was made by McCrow, I'll chuck it in the description, but basically there is an absolute metric fuck ton of bugs, almost 100 bugs and counting. I think this was literally at 70 bugs a day ago, so there's already been another 30 or 20 bugs found since then. The game is in a shit state, and I'm not kidding. I would literally not play the game for a month until it's fixed. Don't get me wrong, they're fixing shit quicker. They fixed the machine gun bow in a day, which is nice, compared to the OG machine gun bug, which was fixed in weeks, which was a fucking joke. But to begin with, that shouldn't have even existed, and I kind of understand that we're on a whole new combat system. To say this is fine is not okay. This is unplayable. It is effectively a PTR. We are effectively a playtest realm right now for the console release. I would not play the game until it is fixed, and I would say roughly, at minimum, a month. If not, I would probably wait until June when they actually announce the content if you want to play the game again. Until then, I would not play the game. If you're playing Wars, Warlog, and then just fucking log off the game. It's a fucking waste of time, and it's not enjoyable. You can get stuck, and by the way, when you get the stuck bug, the one where you can't move, this one here, it actually registers as AFK timer, so you will actually get booted, and you will get kicked from OPR. You will be given a cooldown timer for an hour. Same with war, you'll get kicked from war, you'll lose your war cooldown. The game's just a fucking shit show, to be honest. If you want something to play in April, I'm playing Once Human. It is a new post-apocalyptic survival MMO. It is Lovecraft and HP Lovecraft inspired for the theme, and it takes many gameplay elements from a bunch of popular games. The combat of Once Human is very similar to PUBG. The base building feature of it is very similar to Rust with extras. The overall gathering systems are very similar to New World, if that's your kind of forte. And then other things like raiding and the PvE side of it are sort of very similar to Destiny and The Division. In terms of looting, that is also a little bit similar to New World. For progression, is very similar to Rust mixed with New World and Destiny. For progression, there's gear score, blueprints like Rust, and overall it is a fantastic game. CBT 3, the closed beta test 3, will last for a month and a half. It's free to get into. Go sign up now. There's a limited amount of spots. I think they have 150,000 account spots. So if you go down in the description, sign up for a Once Human account, log in now, you'll have the best chances to play the game. Alright, I just want to do a quick little bit about what Once Human actually is, because I didn't really clarify in the start of the video, but Once Human is effectively an HP Lovecraft-inspired post-apocalyptic survival MMO. I would say it's more of an MMO than a survival game. The survival elements are actually very similar to what New World has to offer, but it's got a little bit extra, such as base building like Rust. There's a lot of cool systems in this game, and there's a lot to cater to for both PvE and PvP players. Me, myself, I'm a PvP player. I've been playing on Star Strike A, so if you're playing the game, that's where I've been jamming out with a bunch of my boys. We've been kind of owning a few of the PvP zones. Effectively, the way PvP works in this game, if you're curious about the PvP side, is there's a few different ways to play PvP. There's open world flagging, much like New World. By holding down P, you can flag for 3 minutes. Now, be careful with this. It's called Chaos State, and if you die in Chaos State, you do have the potential to drop a weapon. Now, it is easy to get weapons back, but it can take a little bit of time. But generally, if you're working in a guild, you have a lot of mats saved up. But I just do want to point that out. Chaos State is, I guess, a half or a hybrid version of full loop PvP, so you can drop gear. But PvP zones, or in this game it's called guild versus guild zones, and they're called frontiers. There's about 7 of them currently in the map. There's more than that, with the other zones are currently locked for a few days as the server progresses, because there's server milestones at the start of the CBT. But effectively, there is these PvP frontiers where you can get your warband together, which is your effectively company, if you're familiar with New World. You can get up to 30 of your mates. That cap increases to 50 in a few days, so you can have a full-on guild if you want. Inside a guild or warband, you then have hives. A hive is an 8-man team where you basically play tight together, so you can have multiple hive teams of 8 men inside one warband and work together and play as a tight-knit squad. Effectively, you go into the PvP frontiers and you control these mining platforms that gather and harvest resources to calibrate and upgrade your gear. So it's a very valuable resource that you want to effectively gather. So you build little bases, as you can see in this gameplay here. One of my boys here, Beats by Icon, is building up some fortifications around one of these mining platforms here. And overall, it's a very enjoyable experience. We've had a lot of PvP so far, if you've been watching the clips so far. Again, I'm doing this, I've been streaming every day because I'm absolutely loving this game. It's actually got content and juice to it. It's very addicting, there's a lot to do. And for other PvP facets, there is a war mode, which isn't open yet. That opens in a few days as well. And that allows you to actually do conflicts in these zones where you can bid for them and then own them, much like you would in New World. In fact, one of the frontiers is actually called Windswood, funny enough. I definitely think they got that name there just to give that sort of little hint and inspiration for the New World players coming over. If you're curious, the server we're playing on is Star Strike A in the Call of Evolution tab, if you're looking to get into the game. This is where a lot of the New World players are starting up and playing. So if you want to jump in with a community that you might be familiar with and you might see names that you recognize in the world chat where banter is always going off, then, you know, that might be a place to go. There's a lot to this game. There's a lot of systems that I plan to make more videos on. And there is a lot that's being worked on for the full release in Q3 this year. One of the things that I don't think we have access to in the CBT is the Respawns 5v5 game mode, which is something they're working on for full release. But right now you've got the PvP frontiers where you don't drop gear if you die, so it's the guild versus guild zones we're currently in this gameplay. Then you have full loot chaos mode PvP, which you can activate by holding down P. And then you have the war system, which is controlling a territory and you declare war. So effectively, at launch, there will be 4 areas of PvP. Actually, sorry, there is a 5th one, I forgot to mention. These are little PvP events that sometimes happen around the map. You will see an icon on the map and you can roll up to them. I don't think I have any gameplay of that in these clips here, but effectively, it's sort of like a free-for-all scramble, 50-50, a bunch of players show up and you get some cool currency you can spend at an event shop. It's just a bit of fun, and yeah, so there's that one as well. So there's PvP events. So there's effectively 5 different forms of PvP that you'll be able to enjoy on the full release. You can currently enjoy 4 of them inside the CBT. Other than that, again, as I mentioned, combat is very similar to PUBG over the shoulder aiming, but you also have the option to first-person aim. Looting is similar to New World, Destiny, and Division. PvE is similar to Division and Destiny. The base building is similar to Rust, the gathering is similar to New World, and the progression is a combination of Rust, New World, and Destiny. There's a lot to do. Again, as I've said, you'll probably get hooked in this game if you do decide to play it. Again, there is obviously nitpicks with the beta, the closed beta, such as the only thing that I've really struggled with this beta, as you might even be able to see in this gameplay, is identifying your teammates can be a little bit annoying with the nameplates, but I do believe that will get changed. I've already submitted feedback on that, and unlike a certain other company, Amazon Games, the devs over at Starry Studios who make Once Human actually listen to feedback. In fact, they've implemented so much feedback that we gave them from CBT2 into CBT3. It's kind of insane, and that was only in a 2-month period. So you can only imagine between now and release, which I think is around 5 months, then you can only imagine how much better the game will get from where it is right now. Again, I really hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. I've been loving this game. I hope you check it out. If you're finally done with New World and you're looking for a new game to enjoy, Once Human might be the game for you. I know it's the game for me. Again, it's skill shot based. It's high octane, and if you're especially a Dex player like me, it's probably going to be the perfect game for you to get into. Like I know a lot of the Dex boys I've seen on this server. I've seen Smirks on here, a bunch of the guys I'm playing with, like Silver Chase from the Musket Union. Shout out to all the boys for coming through, and we've got a new home, effectively. I think this is going to be a big long-term game for me. I'm still going to keep the New World Dex Guide website updated, but it is a bit of a sad reality to admit that New World is kind of finally coming to an end, and I'm starting to pivot in a new direction, and I hope with a lot of you guys also pivoting that you will come through and check out the content. So again, going forward, I'm going to be making a bunch of guides and videos related to Once Human. And again, maybe in a month I'll come back and check out New World if they've fixed their issues, but for this foreseeable future, New World is in an unplayable state for me, and I'll be putting my full attention on CBT3, which lasts a month and a half. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.